Doji man cometh, YouTube. Welcome back to another car chat video. I've done a lot of these, but I think I found the motherfucking perfect setup in my car. So, what do I want to talk about? You know, for the first time since the first episode, there's really nothing I want to talk about in this car chat. You know why? Because for the past 2 days, my mind has been a blank. Why? Why is it? Why has it been a motherfucking blank? Well, let me elaborate a little bit, okay? Friday, August 4, 2017, after my freshman orientation, I went to the gym and did some heavy deadlifts. If you're interested in that training voiceover, I will link it somewhere here. And if you're not, and you're interested in the vlog of that day, I know when that vlog will be up, so tough luck, man. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about is I failed those sets. I was supposed to do 5 sets of 4 at 195 kg or 425 pounds. That's not a lot of weight, and that's what's eating me inside the past 2 days. Okay, currently now is Sunday, August 6th. Okay, just for reference, because I don't know when this car chat will be up. So, what does that fucking mean? I'm depressed because those are numbers that I was supposed to hit based on the program that I created for myself. You know, if I hadn't lost strength, if I've gained or maintained, I should have hit those numbers. Now I didn't. So naturally, the human psyche will make excuses for yourself as to why you didn't. You're gonna point to reasons why, because naturally you should have done it, and I believe I should have as well. I only did 2 sets of 4, and then the next were just singles that I could barely get up. So, what did I blame it to? I blamed it on lack of sleep, med school starting, not eating right, and there's a lot of factors. But really, what it is maybe it's just a bad day. That as well, I factored that in. And what I always come to realize after all the depression that the gym gives me is that there's really nothing you can do about it. You know, it's done. But my tendency is to always crawl back into my shell and just lie there thinking about how much of a failure I had. You know, I was thinking like I should be able to be stronger now. Why is this weight still so hard for me? And I always take it out on myself. There's no one else but myself. And that itself ate me alive the past few days. I tried to distract myself in every single way except by going to the gym, because I knew if I went to the gym that would remind me of the failure that I had. And you might be all thinking, what the fuck, man? That's just the gym. Why does it hold that much importance to you? You know, that's a very good question that you can ask me, and if you just ask me that right now, I'll just shrug my shoulders, because I don't really want to tell you guys the truth. The truth is, the gym is more to me than just the gym. You know, if other people think of the gym as just the gym, well, to me that's not the case. The gym for me is my home. You know, I enjoy strength training. I enjoy picking up those. I enjoy bettering myself every single session. And what it feels like when you feel like you're not better than what you did last time, it just feels like you're inferior. It feels like you made no progress. That's what it feels like. But don't get me wrong, I know that that's not what it really is, but that's what it feels like. And that just eats at you alive if you think about it. I know that when you fail at something, a lot of factors can come into play, but you can't help but blame yourself. That's the kind of guy I am. I always blame myself for the shortcomings that I have, or even others sometimes. I don't know. But It's always a root cause, because I'm the common guy. That's the common link is me. Throughout my training, I may manipulate everything, but the only common factor is me. So who could have possibly done wrong? Maybe I just did a technique that day that was different from the other weeks. That's why it was so hard. Maybe it was just too heavy and I'm too damn weak. And that's just a lot of things you think about. It swirls. And it's not just, it's instantaneous. It all happens at once. It converges, and you just think about everything. That's how I think. It takes me a couple of days to figure out that that's not true. That's not how life works. That's not how the gym works. But it just feels that way. And what I realized time and time again is that you gotta keep moving forward. You can't live in the past of failure every single time. You gotta learn from your mistakes. The one thing I learned when I injured my back last year was that I shouldn't push myself too hard when I failed. What happened then was I was deadlifting around. I was slated to do 210 kilos, or like somewhere around 460 for 5 that day, and I did 2, and my back hurt like shit. Like, it was sore, similar to last session that made me feel this way, but that one was a heavier weight, or I was a lot weaker then. So what I did was I went ham. I went harder and harder, and I said I don't want to fail. I don't want, it's the fear of failure. I don't want to fail. I don't want to fail my sets. I gotta do this for the program to get stronger, to hit the numbers I want to hit. And looking back at now, you set yourself up for disaster if you have goals in mind that are very specific, that are hyper specific to what you want to achieve. You can't always achieve everything, and if it's a specific goal, the chances of that achieving are lower. It's good to have goals, but it's not good to obsess over specific goals. And I had a specific goal of hitting this certain number at my meet, and at the end of the day, I got too injured to even bend down to pick up the barbell, and I ended up hitting 200 kilos for my only deadlift that day, because my back hurt so much that I forfeit my other 2 attempts. So what I learned then is, don't push yourself too hard. The winner isn't necessarily the strongest. The winner isn't necessarily the smartest. The winner is the ones that can still play. The winners are the ones that can still lift, that can still study. Don't injure yourself, be it mind or body, because that's the most sacred part of them all. And even if you say, don't push yourself too much, don't push yourself, sometimes you end up pushing yourself too much. And only then will you realize that pushing yourself to the brink is not always the best option. That's what I realized this time. I applied it. I said, because originally the plan was I was going to redo that Friday failed session yesterday. But I said to myself, I don't think I can. So there were 2 options, because I knew if I did, I would force myself and I would get injured. No. I said, no. There are only 2 options: not go to the gym or do bodybuilding. But of course, with my feeling yesterday, hell no, I couldn't do bodybuilding. Hell no, I couldn't do accessory work. I mean, Friday after that deadlift, I could barely do my 5x5 bench press exercise. I had barely enough energy to even I didn't even warm up. I barely had the energy. I was just drained, physically and mentally. And passion is a double-edged sword. I always believe that it's because of these situations like this. Your passion can help you cut through the obstacles in your way, but at the same time, if you cut too hard, that recoil will bounce back at you, and that blade will bite back. I don't know if that made sense, but there is something called too much passion, and there is something called too little passion, of course. So I'm trying to say, to be passionate, but be pragmatic at the same time. Because you can't have too much of one and too little of another. So for me, I'm just trying to avoid injury. Going into this workout thinking that I'm just gonna hit the numbers that I'm supposed to hit this week. Stay consistent. Stay on that grind. I think I've been talking too much. So, yeah. That's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to my car chat. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Yo.